Welcome to the RSP Film Room. I'm Matt Waldman with the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. This week, we're examining the pocket management and decision-making skills of Florida's Anthony Richardson and why they give him a compelling NFL future as a potential franchise starter. While rooted in the X's and O's of football, this week's look at Richardson drills deeper into the nature of a quarterback's mental processing, technical skills, and position-specific movement that often separates future NFL starters from college stars. Be sure to click on the subscribe button for my channel so you can go deep into the game and NFL prospects at the offensive skill positions. And like what you see, click on the like button. Head over to mattwaldmanrsp.com and check out the Rookie Scouting Portfolio. Now in its 18th year of publication, the RSP pre-draft and post-draft publications are the most comprehensive examination of offensive skill prospects available to the public. Learn more at mattwaldmanrsp.com. Thanks, and let's get started. There are a lot of reasons why Anthony Richardson is a smart pocket manager and field general. When you take a look at a play like this, it just looks like a normal check down from pressure where he climbs the pocket and then he just dumps it off here. And certainly there's a nice gain to be made on this particular play. But what I think is important, and it really underscores a theme that you're going to see with his game, is that he understands where defenders are on the field, where his receivers are going to be, and how to really make the most of the opportunity for his teammates. So instead of throwing the ball right away here when he sees the defender coming downhill, where the defender could easily alter his course and wrap the running back sooner, he bleeds the space available here by continuing downhill to draw the defender to him and then make the last second throw, take the hit, and open the field a little bit more for his back. And so it's important that this is something that we're going to see a little bit more in terms of him understanding where receivers are going to be on the field and being able to manipulate defenders either by drawing to him as a runner or, as we're going to see in a little bit, as a passer. He is a very strong pocket manager. Again, he can climb, he can slide past pressure. He is very good at stepping up and making incremental movements so that he can keep his eyes downfield and find the open man. And while this isn't a pinpoint pass, you're going to see that he does a really nice job with the jump throw to put it in a place only his receiver is going to have a chance to make the play. So you get pressure from the inside, you get pressure from the outside. He's able to climb a step to avoid that and then slide to his right and then know he's going to have to get rid of this ball and account for the defender underneath who's coming across to the right, and he throws it behind the defender, back shoulder the defender, after the defender, basically anticipates where the defender's moving and gets that ball low and in for the receiver to make the catch. It's a tough throw when you're basically making a jump throw in the face of a defensive tackle, but he gets that ball off, and it's a safe throw, even if it looks like a dangerous one, because he knows where he needs to place it. Richardson handles really all kinds of pressure very well. Not only is he confident in his strength to be able to pull through wraps, but he can make subtle movements just to reduce the shoulder, avoid the interior pressure, which is often difficult for a lot of quarterbacks, the NFL and college level. And he also knows when he just needs to give up a play and throw it away. But you'll often see, like I've said, climbing, sidestepping. He waits till the last moment to make his move so he can bait the pressure within a step and really get as much separation as necessary. Keep his eyes downfield, but also know that if he can't break it as a runner, because you see he switches the ball into his left hand, uses the stiff arm to try and pull through, doesn't pull through, so he switches the ball back and just throws it away. Smart play. Let's take a look at it again from here, and you'll see him bait that pressure from the inside. Does a really good job within one step, reduces the shoulder, protects the ball, both hands around the ball, shakes that defender, slides outside. When he realizes that he's not going to be able to win with the stiff arm, gets both hands on the ball, and then throws it away. I like watching quarterbacks who buy time for themselves, even with the incremental movement. You know he has pressure off the edge, finishes his drop right there at the top, and automatically slides a little bit, one step to the left, to his left, and then delivers that ball. So he's buying himself space to be able to get this ball out. He's not waiting for the defender to come. You want to have a balance when you're managing the pocket of either waiting for the defender to get close to you when you see the pressure, or knowing that you're going to be able to have the ball out before the pressure reaches you. So why not buy that time early? And the quarterbacks who are the best in the pocket know when to buy that time early, like we're seeing from Richardson here, and when to wait and bait the pressure within a step of them reaching him and then maximizing separation. Here it's about maintaining the separation throughout the entire throw. There are some situations where he knows he has to bait it. This wasn't one of them. It's a nice play. This is one of my favorite plays that I've seen thus far from Anthony Richardson. And you see the little play fake. You see the edge pressure get there early. Finishes his drop, climbs from that. Keeps his eyes downfield, looks to his left. See that it's well covered here in terms of the triangle defenders around the two receivers here. So he comes off that, and he knows that he has a receiver in the flat and does a great job of being able to throw that on the move to that open zone. And then, of course, the receiver zipper touchdown. Let's watch it from this end zone view because you really get to see nice movement from Richardson. Here it comes. All right. Top of his drop, feels that pressure. Nice bend and climb there. Wants to climb to the right where he saw that receiver, but couldn't get there. So he slides to his left, sees that it's not open, feels the pressure here, and then comes back to his right once again and knows he has his open man. Looks there, sees it's there, and layers that ball to the inside of that defender. And he sees where the defender is in terms of he's starting to drop back there, and he throws it just a little bit more to the inside and finds his man. Here's another good example of Richardson throwing the ball away. You're going to see he looks to his right initially, but he comes off that back to the left side here, and he waits a little too long here, but he sees the defender moving to, and I don't even know if I'd say he waits a little bit too long. When you take a look at this, he's looking to the side, sees the defender with his pads and his hips tilted towards the receiver he'd like to go to up the seam. So then he looks back to his left. The defender then adjusts to his left there. And at this point, Richardson wants to turn back, and he does, to hit this ball because he got the defender to turn. So it was good manipulation on his part here. But by the time he does it, the interior pressure is too close for him to actually target the receiver downfield. So we'll take a look at it from this angle, and you'll see what I mean. He looks to the primary up the seam, comes back to his right. That moves the safety. And then he tries to come back here, but by that time, number 97's in the way, and he just has to throw it away. But it's a wise decision. This is an excellent display of manipulation. You're going to watch him here hit the middle of the field receiver on a route settling in between the zone. And it looks pretty straightforward until you really pay attention to what Richardson's doing, because he looks to the middle here. He then begins to turn towards that deep flat. He sees the deep flat's covered, so watch him turn to the outlet. Now, when he turns to the outlet here, there's a lot of space for him to complete this. But the fact that he doesn't come to that outlet and instead goes to the middle of the field receiver, what that tells you is he knows that if he can turn and look to this outlet, he's going to bring these flat defenders up, and that's going to open up the lane for this middle of the field zone receiver. So watch it one more time. Comes off the read on the deep out here, or the curl, looks like more of a deep curl at the 50-yard line. He comes off that, looks to the check down. That takes two defenders in that triangle who then sprint upfield or slide upfield, and then he's able to turn back to the middle and throw into that open lane that's left behind. And you can see him manipulate it a little bit better as he looks to the middle, comes out to the outside, and then turns back. And see how sudden that throw was back? you could tell he was waiting for that to happen. He looks and then quick snap and throw. That means he was baiting the coverage. He knew all along where he wanted to go, and he manipulated it very well in the middle of the field. A fun thing about Anthony Richardson's game is that he moves and throws on the move well to his left. And that's something that you don't always see with quarterbacks who are right-handed. But it's a really nice job here of navigating the pocket. He knows that there's going to be pressure. He sees that the pressure comes from the A gap here. And it's picked up by the running back. Might have been the B gap. Didn't see real quickly there. We'll look at it again in a minute. But he does a good job of flushing outside, working downhill, and reading the field well, because he looks to the far outside first, comes back through the pressure, keeps his eyes up. He's looking at this crossing route, sees that that's taken care of. Crossing route's covered by the flat defender and the trail middle defender here. So he continues to press upfield and move upfield. Allow those defenders to continue to follow along, so it opens up the backside lane for this crossing route or over route. Yeah, this over route right here. So he's, again, bleeding space or bleeding time to where he forces the defenders to shift up towards him as if he might break the pocket. It opens up this lane for him to throw downfield and get a bigger gain. Let's take a look at it from this red zone view, and you see it once again. I mean, the fact that he can extend plays, keep his eyes downfield, and manipulate the defense with his movement, and knowing that he does that to find an even bigger throw. And you can see the arm angles on his throws. He can throw directly over the top. He can give you a little bit of a three-quarter motion. He can give you some abbreviated arm motions to throw the ball, or like this, it's nearly sidearm to get it over the defender. He layers throws pretty well too. We're going to look at those in a little bit. I like Richardson's patience. I mean, watch this. You're going to see edge pressure, and he just naturally slides a little bit. Just incremental movements. He's not trying to make a dynamic movement the minute he feels pressure. Keeps his feet under him so that he can throw the ball whenever he sees an opening. And he's got an open receiver right here. But he's trying to be patient with what he can look at downfield. He certainly has a deep post right here that you'd like to see him maybe go after, but that defensive back near the F here, the safety there, maybe he sees that and realizes that's probably not going to work out very well. So he continues to slide to the outside. He knows he has this crossing route. He waits for that defender to leap, and then he makes that throw. Let's take a look at it one more time here. You can see he does look to that middle of the field. So if we go back, as he's looking in the middle of the field, he probably sees a safety here and knows that he's not going to be able to throw that deep post. So when he does look to the middle of the field like that, he knows, okay, it's time for me to just continue to slide out. Realize that's not going to work out. The defender's coming, going to be patient, let him make his leap, then throw that ball. And he places it in stride exactly where the receiver is going to be. Pressure really doesn't faze Richardson either, and watch him do a nice job of waiting for this over route and being able to hit it while he's getting hit in the legs here and layer it over the underneath defender in stride to Pearsall. Let's look at it one more time here, because you're going to see Pearsall leaps a little bit unnecessarily here. But he does a good job of following where it's going to wind up, getting that ball out over the defender into the arms of the receiver in stride. When you can move around in the pocket, keep yourself in a throwing position, be patient with unblocked defenders, knowing that guy you got to beat, knowing that that's going to happen, and being able to do it with a layered throw, that's impressive. Love the natural inclination as a pocket manager here, because you're going to see the edge pressure come off the right side, his right side. And he's able to split that edge pressure with the interior pressure and hit his receiver for a big play. Because watch how high this defender gets right there during the exchange. A lot of quarterbacks, once they pop up from that exchange and see that, their first thought is to retreat, which is just an awful decision. But it's common because your brain just kind of gets discombobulated by seeing a defender that quickly in front of you. Instead, his natural inclination is to climb. When you, as a quarterback in the pocket, have the natural inclination to climb rather than retreat, that is a good thing. And he just finds that tight lane and gets that ball out quickly to his receiver and gives his receiver a chance to get yards after the catch. 22-yard gain on this play. All day long. All day long. I love that. Also high on my list of favorites. Watch the manipulation late in this look downfield, because now he's going to have to deal with edge pressure. He climbs that. He looks to his left, middle left, draws the defender towards that middle left, and then quickly throws where the receiver was that the defender probably should have continued to cover in his zone. But he baits that defender. This dropping defender right here, he baits him to the inside. And the receiver he throws to right after that. And you're going to see it more dramatic effect here from the red zone view. Because as he feels the pressure, he's looking to his right. And then to the middle of the field as the pressure arrives, here's number 10. Here's that defender. Watches as that Richardson climbs, he looks to his left. Continues looking to his left. Now he looks to the middle. He knows all along where his receiver is shorter. He knows where shorter is, but he stays looking to the middle of the field. That eye discipline forces that defender further to the left, and then he immediately turns and throws. The fact that he waits and does this is completely intentional, because you can see how quick he is, that after that climb, he immediately turns and throws, and it's wide open. When you can manipulate defenders like this, when you can layer throws, when you can do it when you're avoiding pressure, very high potential for him as a pro quarterback. That eye discipline is just, pervasive in his tape. You see here, he's going to look to the deeper routes here, threatening the downfield, and he's looking at them even during his climb. Very nice climb with his feet under his pads, and then late, after he's eyeballed these deep routes enough, he makes the quick late turn to throw. So he's maximizing the space once again, whether it's in or outside the pocket. He maximizes space for his receivers with the manipulation tools that he has, and doesn't turn until the last minute or make the throw till the last minute. We'll see it from here, and you get another better idea of it. There's the climb. See, eyes downfield, downfield, quick turn to the left. And you can see the flat defender. Watch the flat defender come into the picture right here to the left side, right where the arrow is. See how he slides over there because he sees the eyeballs downfield, and then he makes that quick turn. That buys the receiver another 10 yards about. That number 12 basically gets baited to that inside. Right there. Thanks to Anthony Richardson. If there's a play that tops my list, this might be the one. And you're going to see here, again, it's about manipulation and the way that he puts 2 and 2 together here, because he drops back, he feels some pressure, or really doesn't feel pressure. He feels that he needs to kind of slide outside to his right, and he delivers a ball in between a zone triangle that's reasonably tight, and he gets into the green zone with his receiver here. But if you look at this play up close, this is where it gets really interesting and is kind of a wow play, an underrated wow play if you ask me. Because when this play gets going, you're going to see him look into the middle of the field. Then he looks to this over route here with Pearsall. He sees that. He follows it all along. That's who he wanted to kind of hit. He either wanted to hit Pearsall or he wanted to see what was over here, but he knows that that's taken. So he's looking at Pearsall. But he has the wherewithal to manipulate the defenders now, because he sees the defenders in this area. And when he looks there and sees that it's not open, watch what he does. He looks all the way to his right and that moves the defender in the flat, or at least keeps him still. It holds him there. And then he rolls to his right, comes back, layers the throw above that defender, right in there to the over route that he wanted all along. So this is great because he manipulates this flat defender and this flat defender, the inside and outside defenders here. He looks to that over. There's the over. There's the over. Sees that these guys have it covered. He knows he can't fit it in here. So what does he do? He looks all the way to the outside flat. He forces these two defenders to come up here. And then he even runs in that direction to further emphasize that they need to stay there and hold their ground. And then when that happens, he throws it above, over the head and to the downfield of this defender who had climbed up to take on the check down. So talk about manipulating with a check down to get the play, the route that you actually wanted all along. That's some sharp stuff by Anthony Richardson right there. Watch it one more time from this. You don't always see guys who manipulate the defense this well. And he's not talked about so much as this conceptually refined quarterback. But I think there's a lot of really compelling things about his game. Because when you can do this, when you can say, I want this guy, I know I'm not getting him, let me fake out the defense and draw them further up, and then I'll emphasize it with my legs and then layer it over the top of you. That's beautiful stuff. So there you have it. A lot more that meets the eye with Anthony Richardson than sometimes what's discussed more from a larger perspective about his athletic ability and his arm and questions about experience level or conceptual skills. Well, I think he has a lot of compelling skills as a field general and pocket manager that are very difficult to teach if you don't already have them at this level, which bodes well for him at the next level. We're going to watch more of Anthony Richardson's game and cover different aspects of it here at Matt Waldman's RSP Phone Room. You can find where you can follow me here. Thanks again for listening. Have a good one.